Jumbo, Robins and Wrens. Today I'm going to read you a story called Maasai and I. That day at school we learnt about East Africa and a tall, proud people called the Maasai. I feel the tingle of kinship flowing through my veins. I walk home to our block of flats. I've met Mrs. Stroud across the passage and the Johnson family in number 4, but that's all. If I were Maasai, I would have no neighbours who were strangers living in flats up and down the corridors. Our huts would all sit in a circle around a large animal pen called a kraal, and everyone would know everyone else. We always have to wait for Daddy to get home so we can eat together. But if I were Maasai, Daddy and Ray would be eating with the other men, and Mama and I would eat with the women. Ray fills the water jug at the kitchen sink. If I were Maasai, my brother would walk long distances to find a waterhole and bring the water home in giant gourds. "What's for pudding?" I ask. Mama gives me money to buy a chocolate bar, and Ray and I walk to the corner shop. If I were Maasai and I wanted something sweet, I would wait for the honey guide to come. The little bird would chatter wildly above my head, begging me to follow. I'd lope along below and it would lead me to a beehive. I'd light a fire with sticks, rubbing them hard together, and make a smoking torch to calm the bees. Then I would scoop the honeycomb and leave enough behind for my friend the bird. Before we leave, Mama says, "Come in when the streetlights turn on." I look up at the sky and sigh. If I were Maasai, I would stay out until the bats' caves echoed with empty silence, until the low white moon glowed yellow and rose straight above, until the whole flocks of flashing fireflies turned streets into lanterns. I would go inside then, only to sleep. I would not climb any stairs if I were Maasai. I would lift a cowhide flap and then I'd be home. If I were Maasai, I couldn't look out of my window to see what's going on in the street. My hut would have no windows, just small holes to let out smoke. It wouldn't have couches or chairs, lamps or tables either, just several stools. The next morning, Mama gets ready to go to work. If I were Maasai, she'd stay nearby, milking the cows and tanning animal hides. "Make your beds before you go," Mama calls to Ray and me. I straighten my sheets and stretch my ruffled bedspread. If I were Maasai, I'd spread a cowhide on the bare earth floor at night and then roll it back up in the morning. I would not have a hamster Huey in his cage if I were Maasai. I would have cows, a whole herd that I'd know everyone by name. I would not have to go to the zoo to see giraffes or ostriches or zebras either. I'd share the African air with them, the African soil and the African rain. I set out for school and run back in for my new white trainers. I almost forgot them. I've got gym today. If I were Maasai, I'd run and leap in bare brown feet across lush pastures or pale parched earth. And only once in a great while would I wear sandals made of buffalo hide. That evening, my brother and I fight over who gets to go in the bathroom first. We're going to Grandma's party at a restaurant. It's her 70th birthday. I wash with scented soap and dry my skin with a thick towel. If I were Maasai preparing for a celebration, I'd rub my skin with cow's fat mixed with red clay so that my skin would shine. I'd want to smell nice if I were Maasai, just like I do now. So I'd crush sweet-smelling leaves to rub along my shiny skin. My cousin James came over and we piled into the car to drive to the party. If I were Maasai, walking 3 miles would be nothing for me. I'd glide across grasslands open and free. Later, when her birthday dinner is over, Grandma stares at me. My, Linda," she says, "how slender and graceful you are. Such a beautiful young girl." I kiss her with love and respect, just as I would if I were Maasai. If I were Maasai, my name might be Ishi or Hawa or Nima, or even Lindy, almost like it is now. I come home and I stare at my reflection in my bedroom mirror. Smooth brown skin over high cheekbones and black eyes that slant up a little when I smile. I like what I see. I tinkle again with that feeling about kinship. I would look just like this if I were Maasai. I wonder if you've spotted any of my extra things that might remind you of what we've been thinking about in our Africa topic this term. There's some animals, there might even be a flag you recognise, and I wonder what you think to the material and why I've chosen that.